Welcome back. In this tutorial we're going to cover Advanced Ortho number 11. So this part looks a little confusing or complicated on its face, but it's really not that difficult. We give you the base outline here of your initial shape. So let's go ahead and ask our questions. Do we have symmetry? Answer is no. Which view best shows the shape of the part? You could argue for all three. And where are we going to sketch this part? Where we're going to start? I would say on the right side. So this would be a subtraction part. I think it would be definitely easier to do this with subtraction. So if we take a look at our side profile, we see we've got a bottom length here, or depth, of 2.24, a height of 2. This is a 1/2 inch line, and then the angle of this face here is 45 degrees. So if we pop over to Inventor, start a new part, sketch on the side, and like we said, draw our line, and we'll go from here over 2.24 up to, again, not projecting geometry because we don't have any symmetry, over 0.5, and then I'm just going to draw a line up, and then from this point, because this is a known location, I'm going to enter my angle, and my angle needs to be 90, as we see here, plus 45. So tab 135, and then I'm just going to draw this until it crosses. Sometimes getting the intersection of two things can be a little tricky. Safe practice that I like to use is I just go ahead and draw through and then trim. So we're going to finish sketch, and then we're going to look at what our overall length is. And our overall length is 3.78. So we're going to go ahead and extrude this 3.78. Now, let's take a look back at our part. And the next question is, what do I have to do next? Well, I need a cut here. I need a cut here, here, and here as well. And then I need a hole. So the easiest thing to do, I would say, would be the hole. So we're over 0.76 and up 0.62 with a 5/8 hole, 1 1/4 deep. So let's see if I can remember all those numbers. I doubt it. But we're going to throw a point on here, here to here, 0.76, here to here, whoops, same point, or same dimension, I mean, 0.62. And we need a hole that is no seat, 0.625, that is a distance of 1.25. Now, we're going to go ahead and leave the point because it calls out for a drill. So you can set your drill point angle if you've got a different drill point angle on your drill bit, but we're just going to go ahead and leave that at 118 degrees and hit OK. So now we start to look at what we have left to do. And you could put a chamfer here. So let's go ahead and do that with a distance of 0.74. So if we chamfer 0.74 our distance, and then we pick our edge, there's that. So last two things we need to do, or three things we need to do, is a cut here, a cut here, and a cut here. So I'm going to do these two cuts, and we know that they're both rectangles. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I could sketch on the bottom and then flip this around, but I want to show you a little bit different of a way to do it. So I'm going to sketch on my top. And I know you're thinking, well, that's not where the cut comes from, but nobody says where it has to come from. So I need a rectangle here, and I need a rectangle here. And let's go ahead and get some dimensions. So we're 1, 1.14, and 0.54. 1.14 and 0.54, and then our other one is an inch by 76.76. So we'll do 1 inch and 0.76. Now these are off the plane of where I need to cut them, which is fine because I can extrude this and that as a cut through all, and it knows where my solid is in relation to the sketch and that there's nothing above it to cut. So this is one of those times where it self-predicted correctly. And I'm going to hit OK. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So the last one is a little trickier because this right here, this trapezoid, is our shape of our cut profile. And so we cannot sketch on this face, because if we sketch on this face, we'll be looking at it perpendicular to that face, and it's going to go on an angle this way when we want it to come straight through the back. So what we're going to do in this case is sketch on the back, use our view cube to flip to the front, project this line and that line. And now since we're on the back, if you're wondering why don't I see that projected geometry, because I have solid in between. So we're changing that to wireframe, and now we can see our yellow lines that represent our projected geometry. I'm going to throw a couple of points in here, and I'm going to draw in our shape, which looks something like this. I'm going to go ahead and close that off between those 2 points. And flipping back to our PDF, we know that we've got a height here of 0.74 and an angle here of 30. So if we dimension this angle as 30, this height is 0.74, and then we know that we've got a distance from where this angle starts to where this chamfer ends of 1.12. So now we can dimension from here to here, and it won't let me do it. So let's project this point and see if we can put a point on the end that we can use as a dimension reference. So here to here is 1.12, and that looks good. We're fully constrained, so we can extrude that as a cut through all and hit OK. Go back to shaded with edges for our visual style, and we're done. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.